Well, here's Tractor Jeep, also known as the Poor Man's Side-by-Side. So I put this together, say a year and a half ago. It's a 06 Jeep Liberty. It's got a 3-inch rough country suspension lift on it, and I believe these are 31-inch tractor tires. So not a ton done to it, which is nice because this is the second one I've had. The first one went swimming in a river. Stuff kind of happens sometimes, which is where the hood and grill came from. The rear end's welded, so I pulled the cover off, just gave her a buzz, so it's locked up. And I made this bracket here for the winch, pretty simple. Slides into the, there's factory pockets here, and then it's just bolted with 2 bolts on each side. 12,000 pound winch. And I've maxed this thing out already, so I know it's not coming off anytime soon. As long as I don't do anything too stupid, you know, like try to yank something with the force of the Jeep, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, but some people sometimes. But otherwise, pulling stuff, it's yeah, it's not going anywhere. It's solid. So what I like about this thing is, I think I got, between both of them, I think I want to say under $3,000. I paid, I think, $500 for the first one. Paid $400 for this one. I think it's like $600 or $800 in tires, and $300 for the suspension lift. The winch was, I don't know, like $200-300. So I mean, I'm in it pretty cheap. This one I think needed a heater cord, and a relay for the starter was bad when I got it. Otherwise, I mean, it's not too bad. You know, the cool thing about this, and why I call it Poor Man's Side-by-Side, is it fits 5 people. It's got AC, which works. It's got heat, that works. You know, power windows, radio. So you have all your amenities as some of these $30,000+ side-by-sides. It's less rattly. You know, the doors actually, you know, stay shut, so you don't get a bunch of wind noise inside. So I find that to be a little nicer. It is heavier. I will say that. It is a little heavier than a side-by-side, but also it's 210 horsepower. So, I mean, with this thing in 4 low, just absolutely rips. I've gone through a freshly plowed field with this thing, following my buddy. The field was just soaked, it was wet as can be, and I was able to outrun him in it. So, you know, I think it does pretty good. It's roughly about the same size. I think it was like 3 inches more ground clearance than a Can-Am Defender. So, you know, you can go a lot of places and fit down trails. It's the body's not much bigger. So some of the things I carry inside of this thing is, well, first I bought this hitch for the back. It's like a standard. I don't know if it's a Curtis or who exactly makes it, but I mean, I think the thing was like $130. For the price of it, it wasn't even worth trying to make anything. So I needed a recovery point on the back and a few options. So now I can pull, you know, little trailers around and stuff, you know, maybe drag a hunting blind out to the woods. So that was a nice add. And then usually what I carry in this thing, come back here, is in this bin, got my winch controller, obviously, pair of gloves. You don't want to be handling that winch wire if you're bare hands. A couple snatch blocks. So 1, 2, 3 snatch blocks. I got a D-ring for each one of them. I carry a short loop, carry a bigger loop, so this would be like for anchoring around a tree so you don't damage the tree. And I carry a soft strap in here too. I'd say it's what, 2-inch. It's probably about 20 feet long, you know, just in case I need to extend my winch line or maybe anchor myself to a tree, the back of this. And obviously I keep a couple hitches here just for towing things. So this is like maybe jet skis if I want to launch a jet ski in the water. You know, drive this thing right in the water. This I have, so I can hook the D-ring right through it, which is nice sometimes. Then when you're on the trails, it's nice to keep, you know, a gallon of coolant. I keep straight just so that way I can, if I use some water in my natural surrounding, if there's some available, to make it go further in case I need that much. You know, ATF for the trans or power steering works for either. A funnel, hammer, pair of pliers, some starting fluid, just some stuff just to, you know, I usually keep a set of jumper cables back here, or I bring a jump box with me. I've been on the trail before and just let the winch run the battery too low and had the car stall, you know, the Jeep stall out on me, and you know, when that happens, your battery's dead and you're not going anywhere. So if you're especially if you're wheeling alone, it's always good to bring a jump box if you have one. Otherwise, at least bring jumper cables between you and your buddies so you guys can help each other out. I find off-roading is usually the best when you go with your friends. So, but that's some of the basic gear I keep with me. Forgot to say fire extinguisher. Always keep one of those with you. Things sometimes go sideways. So otherwise, it's like any other Jeep Liberty. You know, radio, AC. I typically just run this thing in 4 low. And it really seems to like that, especially with these tractor tires and soft ground. It doesn't really bog it down much or anything. And these tires, well, I don't recommend ever really driving. Well, they're not DOT legal, so you shouldn't really drive them down the road anyway. You know, rules and all. They don't do horrible. I mean, 45, 50 miles an hour. I mean, it's enough to cruise around. But I actually have another set of tires for this. Another set of rims and tires. So when it, you know, side-by-side rides or whatever, I'll switch over to those, and that's a lot more enjoyable than these things. They howl, as you can imagine, and the wheel shakes violently, you know, with these tractor tires. But otherwise, they're pretty good off-roading. Sometimes they don't have the side bite that you need, but usually if there's something around, you can use a winch to help you if you're in a trail or something, if you really have to. But usually you just position yourself better, and you can get through it just fine. So I think we're gonna go just bop around in this thing real quick and let you see how that goes. So I guess another cool thing about the Jeep is it takes 87. You don't have to put premium in it. And right now, gas prices are insane everywhere. I think they've jumped like 50 to 75 cents. I don't know. We're at $4 a gallon for regular, so kind of cut into my hobbies there. The world needs to get it together. Everything I like has a motor. Needs fuel. Knock it off. Well, we're out at one of the properties here, and you can see everything's starting to melt, and there's a standing water out here, and this is just topsoil. There's no real, you know, base or anything under it. You know, there's days in the summer where, you know, if we get a good rain, pickup trucks and such will get stuck out here pretty easy. I know over to the right here a little more, next to the field, you know, it's a lot worse. I think what we're going to try to do is I'm just going to see if I can, how bad it really is. See if I can get back to the back tree line back there and turn around. I know get back to that back tree line is another low spot out that way. So yeah, let's just see how the little tractor Jeep does, and why not, right? Well, it's a little muddy back here. I think I'm gonna roll up the window and see how quickly this thing gets from here to there. What do you think? Turn a 4 low, just go for it. It's gonna be a little bumpy, I know that.